Hey everyone, before we dive in, if you're loving these real-life stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Let's get into it. I could tell something wasn't right the second I saw Emily standing outside the supermarket on an ordinary Thursday evening. She was laughing way too easily, letting her fingers linger on some guy's arm like nobody else was around. She figured the crowd and the parked cars and the faint streetlights were enough to keep her invisible. But I knew that outline anywhere, the little shift in her posture, the way her hair slipped forward over one shoulder. 8 years of marriage had burned those tiny details into my brain. I didn't march over and make a scene. Not there, not in public. I just stayed parked behind the dark tint of my truck, watching her laugh at whatever he said that I wasn't part of. She threw her head back, toyed with the necklace I'd given her on our last anniversary, and let this stranger lean in way closer than he had any right to. When her phone buzzed, she glanced down, smiled, and dropped it straight into her bag without answering. My name glowing on the screen, my call, and she treated it like spam. That single second didn't break me. It just scooped everything out of me and left me hollow. I drove home, dropped onto the couch, and waited. Every minute felt like the countdown on something about to blow. When she finally came through the door an hour later, lipstick perfect, perfume heavy, she pecked my cheek like it was any other night. "Traffic was a nightmare," she said, slipping off her shoes. "Long day, babe, I'm wiped." The lies rolled out smooth, sweet, rehearsed. I smiled back. I played the part, 'cause something inside me said, "Hold on. Watch. Strike when she's sure she's safe." Life kept rolling on the surface. Coffee together in the mornings, weekend workouts, Netflix when she wasn't too tired. But the cracks kept spreading. She guarded her phone like it might run away. Jumped if I asked who texted. Started dressing like she was heading to a date and called it just work vibes. I still said nothing. I'm not the jealous type by nature. I'm the guy who's early for everything, pays bills ahead of time, keeps every promise even when it stings. But I'm also not an idiot. I know when someone's running a game on me. The real shove came a week later. I bumped into her best friend, Sarah, at the little coffee shop near my office. She looked uncomfortable, like guilt was sitting on her chest. "Hey, Ethan," she said quietly, stirring a coffee she hadn't touched. "Can I ask you something?" Her eyes flicked to my ring and away again. "How's Emily doing these days?" There was something shaky in her voice. I leaned back. "What's up?" She sighed. "She's been weird lately, telling me stuff that doesn't line up. I hate to even think it, but I've got this bad feeling she's keeping something big from everyone." For the first time in forever, I didn't feel like the only one carrying this weight. I didn't spill what I'd seen. Not yet. I just said, "Work's been crazy for her. That's all." But Sarah's face changed, like she'd finally decided to stop protecting the lie. "Ethan, if your gut says something's wrong, listen to it." Those words stuck. I paid for both coffees, walked out, and one thought hammered in my head. If even her best friend smells the smoke, the house is already on fire. That night she came home smelling like hotel soap instead of our dryer sheets, mumbling about surprise deadlines. I knew the woman I married had vanished, and whoever was wearing her skin was about to find out I wasn't the clueless, patient husband she banked on. I wasn't waiting to catch her slipping. I was waiting to end the whole charade in one clean, crushing move. The night it all unraveled wasn't loud. No fireworks, no screaming match. It started with a text that lit up my phone while I was folding laundry. Emily's name popped up. "Girls' night tonight. Need a little space. Don't wait up, home late, slightly smiling face space." Since when did space mean disappearing from the person you used to fall asleep wrapped around? I stared at those words until the screen went dark. My hands shook, not from rage but from certainty. People who need space aren't eating pasta with girlfriends. They're stealing hours for a double life. I didn't reply, didn't call. I texted the one person who'd accidentally become my ally in this mess. Sarah. "Hey, you out with Emily tonight?" The answer shot back instantly. "No? I'm home." "Why?" Something locked into place inside my chest. I called her. She picked up, already whispering, like she felt the storm coming. I read her the text word for word. The silence on her end was thick. Then, voice shaking, "Ethan, she told me yesterday she was with you." My mouth went dry. "So you think she's?" A long breath. I didn't want it to be true. But yeah, she's lying to both of us to cover whoever he is. I slid through my veins, not wild, just razor sharp and clear. Emily thought she was the smartest person in every room. She forgot the rooms talk to each other. After a beat, Sarah asked, "What do you want to do?" I looked up at the wedding photo still hanging on the wall. Sun-drenched church in Austin. Her smile so bright it hurt to remember. That woman wouldn't have vanished without a word. This stranger wearing her face already had. "I need you to come over," I told Sarah. "Tonight." A sharp inhale. Then, okay. Maybe she was tired of being the unpaid accomplice. Maybe she was ready for the curtain to drop too. When we hung up, I stared at my reflection in the black TV screen. I didn't look like a wrecked husband anymore. I looked like a man done being played. Sarah showed up an hour later in a plain cardigan. Face tight, sitting on the couch like she was waiting for a bomb to go off. "You sure about this?" she asked. "I'm done swallowing lies," I said. She nodded once, hard. "Then I'm staying." We didn't practice lines. Truth doesn't need a script. Time crawled. Every car that passed made Sarah flinch. I kept watch at the window until finally her headlights swept the driveway. I didn't get up, didn't pace, just sat, hands folded, and waited for the storm to walk in. Keys in the lock, soft humming. Like she hadn't spent the night lying to everyone who loved her. Hair perfect, makeup perfect, expensive cologne that sure wasn't mine. She stopped dead when she saw us. Me calm in the armchair, Sarah on the couch, arms crossed, staring like a judge. The parking lot memory clicked into place for her. Her smile flickered out. Sarah spoke first, voice low and sharp. "Where were you tonight, Em?" Emily blinked fast. "Dinner with you." "Sarah, why are you?" "Don't," Sarah cut in. "Don't use my name as your alibi one more time." The color drained from Emily's face. Her purse slid off her shoulder and thumped to the floor. I stood slow, deliberate. "You told me you needed space. You told Sarah you were with me. So who exactly were you getting space from tonight?" Her mouth opened, closed. No rehearsed lie ready. She wasn't expecting both of us. "Aaron, I can explain." "I'm sure you can," I said. "And tonight you're going to. Every single detail." This wasn't a husband begging. This was a man gathering receipts. She just stood frozen in the hallway. Door still ajar behind her like escape was still an option. Her breathing went shallow. Real fear flashed in her eyes. The first honest thing I'd seen from her in months. "Can we talk alone?" she tried, voice paper thin. Sarah gave a short, bitter laugh. "No. You used me for months. You don't get private now." Emily spun toward her. "I never." "You told me you were with him last night," Sarah said, voice cracking. "I watched you walk out of that hotel. You made me your cover story." The word hotel landed like a gunshot. Emily stepped back, hit the wall. I spoke before she could spin it. "A hotel." Silence, thick, guilty, final. "It's not what you think," she whispered. "Then tell me what it is," I said, calm enough to make her squirm. She tried. "Late work thing, my boss was." Sarah shook her head. "I saw your boss leave with his wife 15 minutes before you came out in the same outfit you wore to the office." Emily's knees wobbled. She looked at me, desperate. "Aaron, I was overwhelmed. I screwed up. Please just listen." "Screw up or choice?" I asked quietly. She flinched like I'd slapped her. I stepped closer. Not threatening, just close enough she had to meet my eyes. "Tell me the truth. Right now." Her shoulders collapsed. "Someone at work," she breathed. "He paid attention. Made me feel noticed." That word noticed cut deep. But I didn't blink. "How long?" "A few months." Sarah's hand flew to her mouth. Emily's tears finally came. I felt trapped. We grew distant. "I thought you stopped caring." I let the silence sit there a second. "I never stopped caring. Caring doesn't count when one person walks out and the other's still holding up the house. She sobbed into her hands. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I looked at Sarah, furious, heartbroken for the friendship that just died. Then back at Emily. We can fix this, she begged, reaching for me. I'll end it. I'll change jobs, go to therapy, anything. You want to fix something you spent months destroying. I know I hurt you. You didn't just hurt me, I said, voice still level. You made me look stupid in my own house. You didn't even have the decency to end things with him before crawling into our bed. She sank onto the couch, shaking. Sarah put a firm hand on her shoulder. Not comfort, just keeping her in the room with the truth. Emily looked up, mascara streaking. What are you going to do? I met her eyes. Handle it the same way you handled our marriage. Quietly, carefully, and without warning. She didn't sleep. I heard her pacing, doors opening and closing, muffled crying behind her hands. I sat at the dining table with my laptop, building the one thing she never saw coming. A clean, surgical exit. No blow-up divorce, no public dragging, just a separation that protected everything I'd worked for and left her with exactly what her choices earned. By morning it was done. She shuffled into the kitchen, eyes puffy, hair wild, looking like she'd been through a shipwreck she captained herself. Ethan, can we talk? She whispered. I poured coffee. Sit. She sat like the chair might bite her. I meant it. She rushed. I'll quit. Counseling, anything. I want the truth, I said. From this second forward. No more stories. She nodded fast. I started asking the questions she never prepped for. When it started, who reached out first, what she told him about me. Every lie she used to keep the tracks covered. Every answer peeled another layer off her armor. When she finally broke again, face in her hands, I didn't move to hold her. I slid a thick folder across the table. What's this? Her voice shook. My decision. She opened it with trembling fingers. Screenshots, recovered messages, call logs, photos Sarah confirmed, and underneath it all, the separation agreement. Clean. Final. Fair to me. Her eyes snapped up, wide with panic. You're leaving me? Yes. No, we can still. You left first, Emily. The night you gave someone else the parts of you that belonged to me. She reached for my hand. I pulled back before she made contact. That was the moment it truly hit her. Nothing she said could unring this bell. I want you out today, I said. Pack what you need. Go to your sister's. From now on we talk through lawyers. She stood, swayed, grabbed the chair. Today. Sarah arrived 20 minutes later to drive her wherever she was going. She took one look at the suitcases by the door and didn't smile, didn't gloat, just looked sad for the friend who torched her own life. Emily paused in the doorway, tears streaming. Ethan, please don't let this be the end. I looked straight at her. It ended the moment you chose someone else. She choked on a sob, turned, and walked out. The door closed with a soft click. No slam, no final scream. Just the quiet sound of a story finishing exactly the way she wrote it. The house went still. And for the first time in months, I took a full, deep breath. I didn't feel hollow anymore. I felt free.